Welcome to this episode of the DJ Interview with your host, Harry the Big Dog.
What is up, everyone? If you are out here right now, put in the chat. Let me know who you are and where you are located. Yeah, this dude here, this DJ here, he got one of the names, one of my favorite cars. So I'm gonna bring this dude on. He is from Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania. He is bringing his house infused jazz, his house infused R&B to us today. Let me bring on to this here stage, DJ Cadillac. What is up, my bro?
How we doing, sir?
I am good. How you?
I'm all right. Thank you for having me, brother, by the way.
Turn up your sound a little.
Okay.
Just a tad if you can.
Let's see if we can get it going. How's that sound? How we sound?
Oh, that sound much better.
Cool. All right.
What's up, everyone? So now, DJ Cadillac.
Yes, sir.
Cadillac Kid.
In the building.
In the building. So let me and everybody know how you got that name, first of all. Because this has got to be a story.
Oh, man. Let's see how I got the name. It was a play on words when we were coming up. When I was a younger lad, the only thing really on TV were like westerns and kung fu movies and Godzilla movies and stuff like that.
Go kung fu movies. Go Godzilla.
Right. So, I always thought it was cool. It was like, when I heard cats like Billy the Kid and the Waco Kid, the Cisco Kid, So I always thought it was cool. And the fact that I loved Cadillacs, my pops was heavy on the Cadillac scene. And I just thought it was a cool name when Yahoo started coming out with the chat rooms and all that stuff like that and everything. And I had to come up with a name. And it was like Cadillac Kid. So this is before I was even DJing or whatever. I came up with that name for myself and it just stuck. And that's what I always called myself. That's what people called me because it kind of fit. I was heavy in the Cadillacs. And like I said, it was a Western thing. And it just stuck. And I called myself that. And I transitioned that name over to when I started DJing. And it just stuck. And that's what people always called me. Cadillac Kid. Cadillac Kid.
What kind of Cadillacs? I'm interested. The Brougham, the Seville, the Sedan DeVille, what?
I must have had in my lifetime about a good 15, 16 Cadillacs. And they range from Bromes to Eldorados to I had a Seville. I had a 77 Seville, a couple of Bromes. My favorite was the Brome, the big body Brome, and I had a bunch of those. And
I I'm looking for one of them. I want the last year. I think the last year was 2000 or 2001. They made
Mm,
them. I'm looking for one.
really? Well,
Yeah.
I know big body dogs. The last good year for the boats were like 92. And then I think, before they transitioned over to the other style, it was 2001 with like the last version of those.
Yeah.
So I think I'm retired, man. A lot of money, a lot of miles, uh,
A lot of
and
gas burnt.
a lot of gas burned. My mission just before COVID, um, a lot of things happened financially, whatever. I was this close to copping my Escalade.
Mm,
That's gonna be the last. That's gonna be the last ride for the Cadillac Kid. But 2023 is definitely looking up for that. So I'm fingers crossed, and
nice.
that might be the last Cadillac Kid's last hurrah.
All right, so let's get this DJ interview started. So we already established where you got your name. When did you start actually DJing, and how did you get that DJ bug?
Well, first off, I grew up in the streets of Newark. Uh, I grew up around a time when there was only two types of music that was out there. It was either hip hop or house. So growing up in that Run DMC, Gold Chain era, there was only two sides. So of course you started out breakdancing and things of that nature. That's what everybody was doing. Everybody wanted to be Run DMC. And I was lucky enough to grow up in that era in the 80s, 90s, going to high school, and everybody wanted to be Run DMC. Everybody wanted to wear the Kangol. Everybody wanted to walk around with the big stereos. Everybody wanted to walk around with the Lee jeans. So I was brought up in that era. So you were introduced to hip hop, but when you heard this other music, you was like, wait a minute, what is that? That's house music. So
Yeah,
growing up, being a little too young to get in the club, but not really. Zanzibar, Club America, a lot of the clubs in New York, a lot of
right.
under New York clubs. You started getting into the house era, 92 WKTU.
Classic.
Yes, classic. All those garage hits. You started hearing those garage hits. Mafumbe. What else off the top of my head? Rainy Davis. Sweetheart. All that.
Sweetheart, you're my sweetheart. Yeah.
That was one of my first records I ever bought, by the way. Rainy Davis.
Wow, that was going to be one of my questions. So
Yeah,
now we know.
that was one of my first. That and Nobody's Business. Nobody's Business. I don't know if I wish I can come off who the artist is for Nobody's Business, but Nobody's Business. If I do, if I go to church on Sunday and carry on all day Monday, nobody's business if I do. So that all that funk Jack Master, Jack Your Body. I grew up in that era. I said shut up. Then Dada. All that good stuff like this. Chip E. So I grew up in that era. That whole Marshall Jefferson, Move Your Body. That area. So it was such a golden, great era
Right.
when like I said, growing up, and you had Run DMC and all those guys on the radio. Plus, you had house and what I call summertime club. You had that KTU vibe. So growing up with those two genres of music was really like a special time, man. Back when you bought mixtapes when you sat there with your finger on the pause button waiting for your song to come
Wait
on
for
so
the
you could
song, yeah.
can hit record. So those are like really some good times. Taking your little money and going downtown to Sam Goody or something like that, and buying a record, running around the city, collecting records and things like that. Those are really good times. I wouldn't trade those times for the world. You can download and all that stuff now, but growing up in that era was like really a nice time, man. When house was really blossoming, hip hop was blossoming. So it was a really, really good time to grow up.
Yeah, man. So you when did you actually get your first turntables that were yours, not borrowed?
Well, I'll tell you a funny story. And it might sound odd or whatever, but the music was always in me. I come from a musical family. My grandfather, uh, uh, he played piano and sung in church. My mother, I come from a church household where a lot of my family was in the choir. So music was always in me. My father and one of my stepdads, they collected records. So I was always around music. It was always in me. Something was always in me musically. So when I went to the clubs and started going to the clubs, it was just a natural thing to be attracted to the music and feel the music. And like I was just telling somebody the other day, in that era, that's all you had. All you
Right.
had music. So you kind of connected to it more than people probably would today, because growing up poor in the inner city, that's all you had was music. You didn't have
Real.
cable, you really didn't have too many TVs, so you kind of gravitated more tightly to music. Music was a friend. Music was something that really gave you comfort. So when I started hearing the house music and noticed it was infused with a lot of the music that I grew up on,
Right.
I really gravitated to it heavy. And I learned earlier on how to put music together in my head and what music I wanted to hear and what I thought was good. So what happened with it, where it all started, was where they used to sell mixtapes downtown Newark, and I'm sure this happened in any urban city you can name.
Oh yeah.
And I started buying mixtapes from other DJs, from other guys, putting them together. And I'll never forget, one day I got real disappointed because I bought a mixtape and I noticed there was only 2 songs on it that I liked. So I'm like, why am I buying this guy's mixtape for 2 songs? And I could go get the albums on my own and make my own mixtapes.
For the price of that mixtape.
Well, yeah, so I had a light bulb moment. I'm like, I'm buying all these tapes and there's only 2 songs on there I like. Why don't I just go and get the record myself and I can make my own? So that's what started the collecting of music, to start making my own mixtapes. Then, believe it or not, I've always had turntables. But I never had the desire to be a DJ. I was a selfish DJ in the beginning. I made
Okay.
tapes for myself, or for the ladies. Here you go, love. Here's a mixtape for you. You know how we used to do. Slip a tape or a CD to a young lady. So I would do it like that, and I was selfish with my music until people kept coming up to me and hearing my music coming out of my car or whatever, and they were like, man, could you make me that's how it started. Could you make me a CD? Could you make me a tape? And I'm like, and next thing you know, I started selling mixtape. I started selling my own mixtapes.
Right.
And I was cool with coming and joining other DJs at the club. I was cool with that. And I was so cool with the DJs, and they saw how I grooved. And they were like, as soon as they saw me, they knew what to play when I got to the club. And it wasn't until I moved uh, down here to PA, and I just realized like there was no music scene, not the kind of music that I like.
Right.
No music at all. Uh, and shout out to Rob Seville, DJ Rob Seville. I'm not gonna lie, he was the only guy down here that I knew, but and no disrespect to Rob Seville. Him and his crew were deep into deep garage house like that.
Mm-hmm.
Deep, and it was cool. It was a house, but it wasn't my style. It was more deeper, older, Talking Heads type of style house.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, much respect to the game, but I want my house. Where's my house at? So I'm not gonna lie, I'd say early 2000s is when I really sat down and got a pair of turntables together and said to myself, I'm gonna start playing somehow. I didn't know where I was gonna play. I don't know how I was gonna play it, but I started playing it. And I did a barbecue down in my house one year.
Right.
And everybody had so much fun that they were like, oh my God, we're having cousin so-and-so's birthday party in a few weeks. You got to come do it. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm doing this to mess around. And I said, well, I better start learning how to DJ on a professional basis. And like I said, the music was always here. It just, I had to find my way to put it out there on a professional level. I knew how to play for myself. I knew how to put a tape or CD together, but I had no idea how to DJ, so to speak, for a profit or people or someone saying, hey, I want to hire you for my party. And I tapped a couple of people that I knew, a couple of DJs that I knew, and I basically watched them. And as I watched them and their technique, I incorporated my own with the collection of music that I had, and it just came together.
Right.
And I wish I can say it was natural, but it kind of was. Once I learned how to put everything together and make my blends and match the music was, like I said, the music was already here and here. I just had to get it out. And
Right.
I started playing, and the rest is history. What can I say?
So now, in brief, for us non-house heads, what's the difference between the house? I hear the wife talks about classic house and soulful house and all it is. What is the difference between what you didn't hear and your house?
I'm no. How can I say? How can I put this? A lot of what a lot of people will call classics
Right.
is the songs that built the foundation. You got a lot of house songs that built the foundation. The top 40 style house. The songs that everybody knows. Of course, we all know Gypsy Woman. Like I said, Mafumbe. She Loves Me Too. CeCe Peniston.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. That's what I would consider classics. A lot of the stuff that you can basically play at any party, and people will gravitate to. To ease them in, a lot of people who are not house heads, there's a lot of classic songs that you can ease people in, and they'll kind of get the gist of like, oh, okay, yeah, that's house. Gypsy Woman, stuff like that. Who
Follow
else?
Me.
Follow. Oh, don't get me started. We can go thing
A lot of
before.
people hate on my boy Eddie. Shout out to you, Eddie. But
Um,
that song, that bass line is so dope.
Listen, man,
Even 30 years later.
people love that song. I never forget. I actually watched Kenny. No, that's Elias. I'm sorry. I'm thinking that You Are My Friend. I
Elias, yeah.
apologize. But a lot of people love that song. They want to hear it. They don't care how many times. They don't care where you are. All around the world, they want to hear "Follow Me." And you better play it, or you're gonna have a riot on your hands.
Have a problem.
You're gonna have a problem. There's these top 10 or top 5 songs that if you don't play in certain places, you'll have a riot on your hands. You'll have a problem. So, and Follow Me and You Are My Friend are at the top of the line. Lady Alma is yes, Janine. I know you love that song. Yes, thank you, Janine. I love you. Thank you for popping your head in. I appreciate you. I know you. It's bedtime for you. Thank you for popping in. Yes. One of my lovely friends and supporters, Janine, she gets on me. She wants to hear that song every time I play.
Nice.
And she comes out. Thank you for your support, sis. But Follow Me is up there. Lady Alma is creeping up into that top tier of hits that you better play. Let It Fall. That's creeping up there. Superman, Black Coffee is up there. So there's definitely a top 10 of classics that just everybody wants to hear. It's universal. And Follow Me is definitely one.
Nice. So now it's early 2000s. You're getting into this house thing. Where are you in Pennsylvania already, or are you still in New Jersey?
I'm in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
I was going back and forth like anyone who first moves down here. You find yourself in unfamiliar waters, and you crave and miss that energy. You crave and miss that music. Like I said, the vibe just wasn't here. The genre wasn't here. The music wasn't here.
Right.
So what do? It's early 2000s. Spotify isn't around. People are just coming up on YouTube. You still got records to collect. It's not here. So what do? You have you're kind of caught between a rock and a hard place because you miss home, you miss the music. So what do? So I would find myself hopping on the highway, going back to Jersey, going into the clubs, trying to recapture that old magic. And I found out they were playing the same old thing, same old music, same old record. I'm thinking, oh man, I've been down here for a month. Let me go to Jersey and get some inspiration to get some new music.
Right.
I wasn't finding it. You go in the club, they were playing the same songs, the same music, the same everything. So I came back down here and I just started researching on my own. And not only researching on my own, but starting to have my own party, starting to have my own event. Even if it was a hole in the wall, I was just happy to play anywhere. And then one of the guys, one of my mentors, he was playing Larry Holmes, the boxer. He used to have a club now. He used to have a club down here in Easton. And he actually got me in as a backup DJ for himself. And let me tell you something. Me and Larry bumped heads, man, because that dude hated house music. He did not like house music at all. And I used to fight with that guy. And I would get so excited because I would get people coming from Jersey. And they'd be like, wow, I didn't know he played house down here. I'm like, yeah, me right here. And it's like, oh, Cap, you better not let me catch you playing at house. I'm like, yeah, okay, Larry. Clear? All right. Then I put it on. So,
now I know you ain't played a vintage Larry Holmes because he'd have done you in.
oh no, listen, man, Larry, I tell you, Larry's Larry's a piece of work, man. Larry, that guy. But he would bump heads, man, and they used to run back and tell on me, oh, Cadillac was playing on that house, So that's where I got my reputation from playing at his club. I was that guy who played all that house,
Mm-hmm.
and not for nothing, I'd rather be known for that than anything in this town, Oh, Cadillac,
Right.
oh yeah, he play all that house music. Oh yeah, he plays that house. Oh yeah, oh Cadillac, oh my God, house. So if I'm known for that, then I'm good. There's a lot of things I could be known for.
Right. That's funny.
Crazy stories there.
So now, how long did you end up playing at Larry Holmes Club?
Oh man, I'd say a good 5 years.
Okay.
Good
So you
5
had
years.
it for a good while.
Yeah, I had it for a good while. Larry had a big ego, so that place wound up closing. You know what I mean? That it got to the point where no matter how good I got, I couldn't keep people coming because unfortunately, when you're playing a club, sometimes the owner or management can be a shot in the foot. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Sometimes egos can get in the way. Um, a lot can get in the way, and just you find yourself not important because they used to gas me up. Oh, you're the house DJ. They try to make you think you got all this power, and you don't have any power. The owners and the managers have the power. So it took me a while to get that because that was, like I said, my first real what you consider club experience playing in. So,
right.
I was bright eyed, bushy tailed, I was green, I'm all, yeah, I'm the DJ down at Champ's Corner, down at Larry Holmes Club. And it was a big thing. People came from all over to hang out at Larry's. It was a big deal back in the day, especially in the years prior to me playing. So it
Right.
was a legendary spot. It wasn't nothing to be sneezed at. People they bust people in
Wow.
at this place. This place would get packed. So it was a legendary spot to come to. So when it started falling apart, people were looking at me like, well, Cadillac, what are you doing? I'm like, well, can't do
You got to
anything.
keep it together.
You got to keep it together. What are you doing? I would have parties. People like, no, I'm not coming down there. Or I'm not. Oh, I don't go to Larry's anymore. I'm just
Mm,
like, well, why not? So the reputation of the place went down, and I was devastated. After I left. Me and Larry fell out eventually, but not too long after we fell out, the place closed, and I didn't know what to do after that.
mm.
So I just started brainstorming. I said, well, I just said to myself, I said, well, Larry's isn't the only gig in town. And that's when I started just having my own. I'm like, well, why don't I just rent a place and just have my own? All I need is 4 walls. I
Right.
got equipment, you
Some
know,
electricity.
right. And slowly pooling the people that were relocating down here to PA together. And that's what my Lehigh Valley House Heads movement is all about. I'm just trying to slowly pull because I'm hearing all the complaints. A lot of people that relocated down here, they're tired of going to Jersey for whatever reason.
Right.
The drive, the stuff like that, uh, the crime, the parking, and I'm trying to give that experience here in PA, where people are driving all the way to New York and New Jersey for house music. It's
Right.
like going all the way up there and we're building the movement right here. So that's what basically what I'm all about right now. Just trying to pull people together and new people too. That haven't experienced house music. All walks of life. Come one, come all. We don't care. We love you all. Dance floor. You're the same color. You're the same gender. Black, white, LGBTQ. It doesn't matter. It's all love when you come out to one of our events. Shout out to my partner and brother DJ DL. He's helping me out a lot on the back end as well. And that's basically what we're doing. We're just trying to build a movement. We're trying to build something here that was nothing. It's almost like you bring a Cajun restaurant into Chinatown. You know what I mean? It's like, you have to build. You have to get the message out there. You get whatever interview, whatever media coverage you can, and you build. And I always had the saying, every forest started with one tree.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe in the music that I play. I believe in the music that I'm and the message that I'm trying to bring. And I know eventually I'll get it out there to the world, to more people than I can even imagine. I know it's coming,
Right.
and every party that we have, I'm so thankful and blessed because I'm always seeing new faces. I'm always seeing new people, even if it's one or two people. Hey, I heard you were having this. So, hey, so-and-so told me, or hey, I saw your flyer, or like this media, your media platform. Hey, I saw your interview. Da, da, da. So I'm glad little by little we're getting recognition. Little by little, it's starting to grow. More people are coming. Like I said, even if it's 2 or 3 people extra, like, hey, I never saw that person before. Or, hey, like I said, people are coming up to me like, I didn't even know they were playing house down here. You know what I mean? I'm so thankful. I was ready to go to New York and New Jersey because I don't know if you know where I'm located at in Easton, but it's like when I tell you it's a straight shot, 45 minutes up the highway, 50 minutes an hour, you can be in New York. That's where I'm located. So it's and like I said, it happened to me when I moved down here. I got the bug. There was nowhere compatible in Jersey, in New York, that you could go here in PA. Right. So I got it because, like I said, I went up there plenty of nights, and I felt that energy, and that's all I've ever wanted to do was duplicate that energy here. You know what I mean? And that's basically one of my goals that I'm trying to do with, like I said, the Lehigh Valley House Heads movement is duplicate that energy, find our own niche, our own spot. We're not trying to steal Jersey's thunder. We're not trying to steal New York's thunder. We're trying to have our own genre here. We're trying to cut our piece of the pie out here. And, hopefully the world sees it or hears about it. Hey, down there in PA, they got a little, going on. We need to go down there and check it out. You know what I mean? So so that's basically it in a nutshell. Once again, thank you to my brother DJ DL.
DJ DL, shout out.
Yeah, he's really partnered up with me. He's a legend in the Jersey house community. He's been there, done that. Done a lot of big things with a lot of big celebrities, legendary parties, and he's down here in PA now, and he's a lot like a mentor and schooling me on a lot of things that I probably wouldn't have opened my eyes to or my mind to. So I want to, if he's listening, I want to thank him for that. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you.
Now, what kind of person does it take to become a house head? I listen to occasion. I'm from the New York area. I listen to it occasionally. I'm not a serious house, but the wife is from Jersey, and that's all she pretty much listens to, and it's stuff that I've never heard, and she cannot get enough of it. So what type of person are you looking for to come out and support your events?
Well, I can say for me and some of the house heads that I know, house touches you. House has a way of reaching you. Hey, Sharina, how you doing, love? Hey, thank you for popping your head in, girl. Um, House touches you. How you can close your eyes and feel house. There, like I said, there's places I played and people had no idea what I was playing, but they
Hmm.
felt it in
They
here.
felt it.
Something about house just touches your soul, touches your spirit. It makes you feel good. Um, if you notice, you close your eyes and you switch back and forth to a couple of genres of music, and you listen to hip hop, you listen to rock and roll, and then you switch over to house, and you close your eyes and you listen, and you can't tell me that it doesn't dial in a certain feeling that you get when you're listening to it. It takes over your spirit, and it kind of moves you. It makes you want to dance. It makes you, and that's what house is. House accepts you. I've had, man, let me tell you, I've had people in wheelchairs. I've
Mm.
had gay, straight, white, Spanish, and I walked into the place, and just a couple of weeks ago, uh, a party I had to do, and I'm gonna tell you, and anybody that knows me, well, I will fight for my house. You understand? I'll fight for house music. So, um, we're close to Bethlehem. I don't know if you ever heard of Bethlehem,
Yeah.
Bethlehem, PA. Not too far, about 10 minutes down the road, 15 minutes down the road. Um, heavy Spanish presence, heavy Hispanic presence, and that's like I said, that's one of the genres that I'm fighting with. You got a heavy Hispanic presence, heavy folk music presence, um, just really a small percentage of house, and it's mostly me.
Right.
Um, so you know, anywhere you go in this area, you can hear rock and roll. You can hear Spanish reggaeton. Um, so the one guy, I never forget. It's funny because I just was setting up a couple of weeks ago, and the Spanish guy's like, "Oh, hey, papi, okay, you setting up, man? All right, you gonna play some Spanish?" I said, "No, bro." I said, "I'm sorry, I'm not gonna play." "Oh, you're not gonna play no Spanish music. You're not Chicana." I said, "No, bro." I said, "I play house." And he looked at me and he was like, "Okay, bro." I said, "You can't tell me you can't go anywhere around here, brother, and listen to that music. Where can you go to that you're gonna hear house?" And he said, papi, you're right. And he came back later, man, and he had a good time. He danced and he had a good time. I had handicapped people, man. I had
Mm.
white, black, Spanish, people from all walks of life, man. I played it in places where you wouldn't even think that they would dig it. But when the night was over, they came, you know what? I really like the music. You know what I mean? You can't help it. House is undeniable. It's undeniable. You can't tell me walking out of a party and they played house, you didn't walk out angry. You didn't walk
Right.
upset. You didn't walk out ready to trash the place. You had a good time. Every
Had a
place I
good time.
had a good time. So I fight for my house, man. And I've been doing it since I've been down here. I've been fighting for it. And like I said, if I'm known to be that guy to play it, That's it. And it's almost like oh man, that's all you're gonna play. That's all you're gonna play. You're not gonna switch it up. You're not gonna play any R&B. I'm sorry. It's my bane. It's my bane. It's something that I'm known for in a good way, and I'm known for in a bad way. But it's just this area. You go, like I said, an hour up the highway.
Right.
They're playing it in every bar. They're playing it in TGIF Fridays. They're playing it in, and you go in the CVS, man, they're playing house. So it just so happens that I'm in a different area than
Right.
a lot of these people, because I was raised on house. Like I said, it was either Run DMC or you was Marshall Jefferson. You know what I'm saying? Which it was like that was the transition down here, and it's always like that when you move to a different area, introducing something different into the fold. It's always a challenge, and I've been up to the challenge ever since I moved to the area, and I
Right.
was waving the house music flag, and until I can't carry that equipment anymore. And it's
So
coming
now
through.
it's coming through, right? So let's go back to the 2000 and the technology you were using. Were you on turntables or were you on CDs?
I
Because
was
back
on.
then CDs were in.
Oh man, don't get me started on some of the junk I used to have, man. Because I couldn't really, like any DJ starting, I couldn't really afford quality equipment. I couldn't afford 1200s. Like I said, I grew up poor in Jersey, and when I did come across what I would call decent money, I wasn't thinking about DJing. I was thinking about looking fly and driving a fly car and stuff like
A
that.
Cadillac.
But there you go. And for a ladies' man back then, I was more about being in the club, cutting up, than being behind the turntables. Like as long as I had me a little playlist, I had my, I was a smooth play. I was a player back then. So long as I had my making love playlist and my cool breeze playlist, my playlist that I could lean out the window with the arm out playlist. As long as I had that music together, I was more, about dressing fly and all that stuff like that. And like I said, the DJing bug didn't hit me. I mean, don't get me wrong, you had your home stereo and stuff
Right.
like that. We had something to play music on, but as far as on the professional level, like I said, I really didn't start until I moved to PA. And then I grabbed anything I could get my hand. You should have seen the crap that I was playing on.
Were they turntables or CDs or
Well,
the new technology with Serato? What was it?
it wasn't Serato. Um, it was more like the old school controllers, like the Hercules. Listen, man, I had this little. Oh man, it's embarrassing now.
Come on,
I
all
thought
of
because
us had a realistic
you
mix
know
at one time.
because you think you're so cool. You think you're so cool, and then you think back at the crap that you used to play on. I had this. I don't know if you call it what was it, an iDJ2, and it was a little controller, and you plug the iPod into it. I don't know if you remember that. You plug the iPod in the middle, and it had these two little mixing pads. And I thought I was the bomb. I had two little furry Kerwin Vega subs. Was they Mac? Man, I mean, I thought I was so cool. And I had these heavy, old ass Kerwin Vegas, and I had an iDJ2. And you plug I swear to God, you take your iPod and you plug it in like that in the middle, and
Right.
all your song, and this thing would cut off in the middle of parties, man. It was so bad, man.
So at what point, moving back up now, at what point did you establish yourself and started getting better equipment? And what did you get?
Well, I got my tried and trues. I still got my tried and trues. My Denon 3700s are my tried and trues, and I got those, and I never looked back. I had one of my mentors had the lower version of those, and I think he got upset with me when I got the newer models of the Denon CDJs, and I've been rocking those ever since.
Okay.
If I didn't have, if one conked out, I went and got a new one. I love the feel of those. I love the feel of turn. I love the. I'm not gonna lie. I've never played on 1200s, but I hit the ground running with those because they felt like turntables, and I just been stuck with those for the past good 15 years now. I've been playing with those things.
Wow.
It's just I felt like if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of these guys that have all these fancy doohickeys and turntables and these new controllers and
you went old school. You said doohickey.
Yeah, oh man, Nikki laughing at me. Yeah, showing my age. But I always thought if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, you got a lot of guys that have all this digital stuff going on, and they don't know how to blend sync button. There is no sync button. There might be a sync on that big contraption I got, but not a sync button. I don't even know what a sync button is. What is that? You know, the only thing that helps me with the laptop as far as just keeping my music. You know, thank God I don't have to lug crates of records
no more. Ooh, man.
That's about it. My setup is meat and potatoes. My two turntables, my mixer, my Denon 3700s, my old school mixer. Is actually a homage to one of my first mentors. One of my first mentors had the exact same setup, and we actually had a falling out because he didn't like the fact that I was growing so fast. So my setup was an homage to him, and he didn't like that because I actually went out and got the same setup that he had, but with the upgraded turntables, and he was not happy about that at all. So I've stuck with it. You know, controllers have come and gone, and I'm still with my same setup. I'm working on transitioning to controllers because it does kind of get a little hectic carrying the extra cases. But let me tell you something, it's worth it because I tell you what, when I tell you I make beautiful music with those things.
You've been messing with them for that long, so you probably know every trick in the book.
Every trick, every curve, man. I tell you, I love those things, and I will not get rid of them. Bury me with my 3700s. That's how I feel. bury me with them. You know, put them right at the bottom. Put them right at the. No matter of fact, you know, put one in each hand. You know how like sometimes you see the pimps and they go to have a funeral in the car. Like, don't do me in the Cadillac. Put the hand like
with some headphones on, right?
Headphones on. That's it. And position my hand. Just position my fingers just right, so I can flick.
So, what's going on now, and for the future? What you're looking to set up events or collaborate with people. What's going on now?
Well, right now we're just concentrating on growing. We're concentrating on growing, getting our name out there. just growing, just concentrating on what we're doing here. We're really trying to tune out all the noise because there's a lot of noise out here that if you're building and you're not the big name DJ yet, you can get distracted. You feel like you're not doing enough. You feel like you're not connecting with the right people. You feel like you're not having enough guest DJs at your events. You know what I mean?
Right.
So kind of we're just trying to grow our area down here. We're trying to grow a house here and just not be distracted with all the big house festivals, and we're trying to have our own house festival.
Okay.
We're trying to do our own thing, and no disrespect to Louis Vega or all them guys or whatever, but you know, if they come, that's great. If they holler at us and say, "Hey, Cadillac, what can we do?" or whatever, that's great. But we're not looking to get certain people just to get them down here. We're trying to build our own star power. We're trying to build our own foundation. So not just New Jersey, not just New York, but the world takes notice and sees what we're trying to do. We're trying to grow something pure, without a lot of politics and bouginess and big headed and celebrity DJs and all that stuff. We're our own celebrities, and we're just trying to build a community, and we're just trying to grow like any place. Even those guys had to start somewhere.
Yeah,
they had to.
We talked about that the other day when we talked. Right. Everybody had to start from somewhere. Nobody had a crowd. Everybody started from zero.
Right. And that's all we're trying to do. We're just trying to build our crowd, play music from the heart. You know what I mean? Not just the top 10 hits to get everybody in. Yes, Janine, we play your top 10. And after that, I encourage my guys to play from the heart, you know, and because you don't always get an opportunity to do that, you know, especially when you're doing certain parties for certain people. Like if you pay me a party, I have to play what you want to hear. You know, I have to concentrate on pleasing you.
Yeah.
I like when we have a party and we're just free to play what we feel.
What you feel like playing.
You never know, that record, you know, might touch somebody, or it might start, because that back in the day, remember, that's how it was. You know, you played a record, that record broke.
Breaking records, yep.
Right. So, you know, we like breaking records. We like breaking new records. We like playing from the heart. We like telling a story when we play. You know, like I said, nothing against the hits, you know, because we know we do have our ladies come out. You know, the ladies come out and they want to hear their, you know, they want to hear, like, they Follow Me. They want to hear their My Joy. They want to hear their Kimora Lovelace. When Can I Love Begin? Yes, we have our little section where we dedicate, you know, those classics.
Right.
Yes, thank you, Vicky. Thank you, Vicky. I appreciate you. And shout out to Kareem the Entertainer. That guy you need to get on your show. You need to holler at Kareem the Entertainer. I gotta link you.
We'll set it up.
Yes. But you know, we play from the heart, and we just want to build something pure. There's a lot of politics. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the house community in other states. A lot of egos, and we don't rock like that. You know, we got a chance to build something pure and from the heart, and whether 3 or 300 come, we're gonna party, and we're gonna have a good time, and we're gonna spread love, and everybody's welcome. Whatever country, whatever genre, whatever color, whatever creed. We got handicap ramps. We got whatever you need to get there.
Everything, right?
Everything, So believe, hey, if you get the people from the nursing home, the wheel you in there,
Roll them on over.
roll them on over. Thank you for coming out. We appreciate future and past who have supported us and will support us. Thank you.
Nice. So I got a few more questions before we start wrapping this up. So now I'm more into the disco dance music of, the classic times. And I see now that new disco is coming out really strong. Is that the same with the house music that you're listening to? Is there a nice little flux of new music constantly coming on?
Well, I got a confession to make. First of all, I love disco, that whole era, pimp music, if I hear a little crumb of that in the house, I'm like this. I'm like, my whole, I get, something come over me when I hear an old school flavor or some of that 70s funk disco in a house record. I need that. I'm like a junkie. I need that. But I also have to remember, yes. But I also have to remember too, there is a lot of good other genres of house coming out. So sometimes I have to get out my bag because Cadillac can go in his bag and I'll go all night. Like I'll go in my bag. You ever watch Back to the Future and Marty start, with the band and he just start going crazy and
yeah.
all inside, I'll get like that. So I have to remember that there is a lot of good stuff coming out outside of that disco. Like I said, that's my jam. That's me. I mean, come on, you can't.
We here, bro. We here.
Yeah, but I have to remember there's a lot of great soulful stuff. A lot of the stuff coming out of Africa is really beautiful, man. There's a lot of good stuff. A lot of it's beautiful, man. Black coffee is just the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot of great tribal house and Afro house coming out right now, and it's really beautiful. And if you can navigate those waters and put together a nice playlist, you can really move some mountains with that stuff.
Right.
But it's another genre that you have to jump into feet first and really feel your way through it and know what works for you and what you can incorporate what you're playing and what audience you're playing to, because sometimes that stuff can be hit or miss if you go too deep into the jungle.
Yeah.
Because you got a lot of guys right now, because that Afro house is popular, they get a little, you got to go into some of them parties with a loincloth on and a Bowie knife and a machete. Some of the guys go deep, but you got
they going deep, huh?
Yeah, they going deep, bro. So I try to watch how deep I go into that genre. Peace, Team Fame. What's going on, brother?
What's up?
But disco, like I said, it's self-explanatory. Because Cadillac can get it, boy. Because I got some stuff. Woo! Gotta have you.
Now I understand what you were talking about earlier about that music that just makes you feel good,
right?
And have a good time, because that's how I feel about the disco music. Okay, I'm tracking. I'm good. I'm there.
It's all good. It's all good, brother. Yes, it's definitely and especially now today, man. And like I said, no knock to hip hop, real hip hop. No knock to real hip hop. But some of this music out is garbage right now. It's just garbage, and it's like, what are you supposed to play? People, there's grandmothers still want to come out and party. There's
Mhm.
grandfathers still want to come out and party. There's real grown men and women who want to come out and party, and they just don't want to hear all that crap, all that cursing and wop and all that crap. So what do you play? What are
Right.
you supposed to play? You show me what are you supposed to play. So sometimes when I'm wavering, because being a strictly house DJ does hold me back to some extent. You know what I mean? It really does, because
Yeah.
there's so many people. Hey, Cadillac, I got a Sweet 16 coming up. Hey,
Like, yeah, your kid listens to house.
exactly. I can't do it. I got to pass it on. I got to pass it on to somebody else. You know what I mean? So it's a gift and a curse at the same time. But um, I do believe, like with anything, if you stay true to yourself and you believe in what you're doing and you love what you're doing, because I'm telling you, man, there are days where we've had parties and 5 people showed up. You know what I mean? But we didn't have a long face. We didn't shut it down. We had I think, like Nikki said, some of the parties that we've had where there was barely anybody there, we had
Mm.
a good time. Because the music carried us,
Yeah, the music. Yeah.
and we didn't care. We looked around and we didn't. We were like, "Hey, that's more room for us to
And
spin around."
every DJ's been through that
Right,
in their early careers, in their mid careers, and their later careers. It's
right,
just, it's just one of them things that happen where nobody
right,
shows up.
right. And you never know. You never know who's gonna walk in the door.
Hmm.
You never know who's out there, tapping their people or putting in. Hey, man, these guys are doing their thing. So as long as we have that clear vision, that and we're true to ourselves. We're not trying to be anybody else. You're not going to see us coming in. Well, there's no. Oh, there's everybody sitting down. Hey, yo, yo, yo. Let's put on some Megan Thee Stallion. Nope. We're gonna keep this train. We're gonna keep this train moving.
Right.
And as long as, like I said, as long as I can carry this equipment, as long as we got 4 walls, uh, we're gonna party.
And electricity.
And yeah, you got to have that. Not out to the places that can't handle the electricity, man. 'Cause we done a couple of those too, man. 'Cause we were banging and shaking them walls, boy, and all you heard was, "Broop, broop, broop," and I'm like, oh man, we got to cut that bass down. So
Nice.
that's the
So
deal.
I want to thank you, DJ Cadillac, for putting your house wisdom, because I know about it, but I don't know about it, and you enlightened me, and probably a couple of other people will
Thank
be
you,
enlightened
thank you,
about
thank
the
you.
house genre.
Right.
How can people get in contact with you?
Well, you can hit us up. Uh, Lehigh Valley House Heads. We got a group on Facebook and we got a group on Instagram. They can hit us there. My personal page, there it is right there. How about that? My personal page, DJ Cadillac Kid on Instagram, or Ron DJ Cadillac Kid Kennedy on Facebook. But Lehigh Valley House Heads is, like I said, being my guy DL's group. Um, it was my baby, and it was just something that a group that I put together on Facebook that just not only promotes our events, but other people in this area, especially people that's always supported us. There are, we're not the only ones having events down here. We're not the
Right.
only people of color trying to do their thing and spread their influence and stuff like that. And once again, like I said, it's not about color. Uh, Anybody who supports us worldwide, we're willing to put, you know, our, your information up on our page, especially if it's something positive. We're always supporting small business, stuff like that. Anywhere where we're performing at, anywhere where DJ DL is, anywhere where I am, um, supporting the people who support us all the time, stuff like that. So it's a page that, like I said, is showcasing more or less what we do, but other people that support us as well. Jersey,
Right.
Chicago, New York, wherever, because you never know. There's always someone
Yep.
asking, "Hey, what's going on this weekend?" Or, "Hey, I'm in Pittsburgh," or, "Hey, I'm in Chicago. Hey, you know anything that's going on?" So
Hmm.
it's kind of another way of bringing people together, and because, like I said, people are always surprised. They're like, "Hey, I didn't know this was going on over
Right.
here. I didn't know this was going on over there." So that's basically what the page is all about.
Will definitely follow. I'm already in your group, Lehigh Valley House Heads on Facebook and Instagram,
So,
IG and FB.
so.
Nice. Anybody you want to shout out?
Um, Shout out to my lady Nikki. Thank you for supporting. She's over there in the corner rooting for my
Hey,
team.
Nikki.
Shout out to DL, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat that took the time. Shout out to Janine. Thank you, sis. Love you. Appreciate you. I know it's past your bedtime. I know it's past a lot of people's bedtime. Thank you for anybody who's stayed up. Uh, Shout out to you, brother, for sharing your platform. You could be stingy and just be doing your own thing, but you're, shining light on other people, and bless you for that. Thank you for bringing me on your platform. So
Roger
shout out
that.
to you, brother.
Thank you. I am strictly for the DJs, bro.
I
We don't
appreciate
get that recognition that we should. And DJs don't get their doors banged down to get interviewed.
it. Right,
So,
right, right,
and all of them have a story, just like you were
right.
telling your story about, Lehigh Valley and the struggles you had there. All the DJs have a story, and I want to get as like you, I want to get as many as I can before I get sick of this platform.
Right. And I appreciate that because you never know who's watching. You
Yes.
never know who's there. You never know who's elbow. Hey, man, check out this interviewer. Hey, check out this guy Harry. So it you never know when you're doing stuff from the heart, and we're
Yep.
doing stuff with good intentions. You never know who's listening, and you never know who's watching. So
Yep.
you once again shout out to everybody within the sound of my voice that took the time out to listen. We're all busy. We got lives going on. Our time is short. So if you took time out, Vicky, thank you. Shout out to your man, Kareem the Entertainer. Nikki says, hey, she loves you. Um, and anybody within the sound of my voice that took the time out, because I there's a lot of media out there. I know I've clicked past a lot of stuff I'm guilty of, and anybody that took the time out to sit down and listen to this interview and support this brother, Harry, thank you very much.
Thank you. Shout out to DJ Cam. He's in Jersey.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, real quick. Oh, listen, Skate Jam coming up December 18th. Make sure you check the flyer for that. And we got a skate jam, ugly sweater skate jam coming at Bush Local Rink. So if you're in the area, come check us out.
Yes, if everybody who's listening to this and the replay too, if it's before December 18th,
This is December 18th.
2022,
Cheap pop, cheap pop, cheap pop.
if it's after, don't worry about it.
You missed it. If it's after December 18th, you
You
missed it.
missed it.
Check the pit. We'll try to get some pictures. Yeah, it was a good time. We had a great
Yes,
time.
yes. Send some pictures, and we look forward to you know, following up with you sometime next year to see how this house thing in your area progressed. I'd love to have an update and see how you penetrated this market just a little bit more.
Appreciate that. Thank you, sir.
All right. So I'm gonna leave you on, and you're just gonna go out with me.
Okay.
This is Harry the Big Dog, and this is the DJ interview. We want to thank you for supporting. As of the airing of this show, it is the end of 2022, and we look forward to expanding in 2023. I definitely want to give a shout out to my people's free agent radio. Shout out to you, DJ Cam. And I want to shout out Broadcast Hip Hop Network for making some of this possible. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, DJ Cadillac Kid, for coming on and blessing the stage.
Thank you.
Did that sound cliche? Blessing the stage?
Oh, no. No.
Good. Thank you.
Oh, man. Shout out to Ray. I'm sorry, DJ Razor Ray was in the building. I didn't see him in the room. Shout out to you, bro.
Shout out to all of them. But we will see you on Tuesdays, 8-ish Eastern time at the next DJ interview.